Addiction, recovery, redemption. These are survivor stories. You are listening to Shattered.
Today with me, I have Tonya McKiddy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great, Tonya. How are you?
Doing good.
Let's start by telling me a little bit about your childhood.
Well, I was born and raised in DeQueen. My mother, she was a single parent. She did what she could to raise us. I mean, she worked very hard. I have a brother, and I really didn't have a male figure in my life but my uncle. And, I mean, growing up, it was hard, because my mom was never around because she had to work to take care of us, and my brother had to take care of me a lot. And
your uncle was your role model.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about his lifestyle.
Well, what I remember, in and out, he did help my mom take care of us, but he was on meth, too, watching him. And, there's times that my mom try to help him get off of it. It was bad. He's fighting demons and all that stuff. I remember him in the room just tearing it up, and me sitting on the couch crying, saying I was never going to do that.
Right. Seeing that, you never wanted to touch meth because you did not want to live like he was living.
No, I didn't. And as I was growing up, I remember I was in kindergarten. My uncle had left because he started driving a diesel, and my mom met this man, and I thought he was a good guy, but he tried to mess with me, and I was scared to tell my mom, and so I went to my dad, and the first time I ever went to my dad about anything. And when I told my dad, he went to the cops, and they put me in foster care. And for about a year, I was in foster care, and my mom and my dad fought back and forth over me, who was going to get me, and I ended up going back to my mom. But after that, we moved to Oklahoma City. And
had your mom divorced that man?
Yes. Yeah, she, for about 2 years, she stayed with him. But I think it was before I went to the foster care. But as soon as that happened, she left him, and...
she made things right.
Right, yeah. And I know she did. It's not her fault, my mom was my best friend. It was never her fault. She just thought she was doing best for me and my brother.
Right.
Because, you wouldn't think he was that type of person.
Right. Later on in life, when did you start doing drugs?
Well, when I turned about 22, I was living in Broken Bow, and I started working at this bar. And I met this guy, which was my little girl's father. And I started doing drugs with him. And when I realized I was pregnant, I gave him the chance to either be with me and her and be a good dad, or
be drug-free.
Or do drugs, whichever one. It's his choice. And, well, he made his choice when he didn't answer me. And so I just left him.
He chose the drugs.
He chose the drugs. And he ended up going to the pen before I even had her. And after that, I was clean for 13 years. And in between that 13 years, I married this other man from Hot Springs. I moved to Hot Springs. And, he was a good man. I thought he was.
He didn't do drugs.
He didn't do drugs. Now, he liked to drink, and when he'd get drunk, the first 3 or 4 years, I was happy. I ended up having a son, and I couldn't ask for more. I wanted to protect my daughter. Another reason I left Broken Bow. I didn't want her to be raised up like I was in all that stuff, situation, drugs, and all that. I didn't want her around that. Okay. I wanted her to get away from that. I wanted to protect her. And that's one reason I moved to Hot Springs. And I thought I was protecting her, but he was a good husband too. Until he started mentally and physically abusing me. And that was about 4 years after we was married.
Would he do that when he was drunk, or was it just all the time?
It got where he was doing it when he was sober, too. If I was a minute late getting home, I might as well be ready. he was going to hit me. I mean, I couldn't. I mean, he wouldn't even let me work. At the end, he let me start working, you know, but I mean, I couldn't. Basically, I had to stay home, you know. So my kids were my life. I mean, because.
Right.
And that happened for about 10 years. And then.
You lived in that environment for 10 years.
Mm-hmm. And then.
Did you just feel like there was no other option?
No, I mean, he wouldn't even let me see my mom whenever my mom was still alive. I mean, I couldn't go see her. And when she passed away, that's when I felt like I didn't have nobody. Because, I mean, at least I could call my mom and talk to my mom. Talk to my mom. And when she left, when she passed away, I felt like I didn't have no one no more. And
he had cost you years of not getting to see her.
Well, my mom was always the one there for me. I mean, she's the reason why I want to become the person I want to become.
Right.
You know, she was my rock. And then when she left, I didn't have nobody. And that's when I started using pain pills. Because, I mean, it numbed the pain. And I was on pain pills for about 5 years. And
were you still with him at that time?
And, well, I figured, I mean, the pain pills got to I was taking a lot of pain pills a day, 15 to 20 a day. And I knew that wasn't right. I needed help. And I went to him, you know, and he told me, well, all right, we'll get you some help. And, I went to rehab over that. And all he called me was an addict and a dope head. You're nothing but like your family, you know, a drug head, and you're not no good. You're not a good mother, and you know. And he just kept telling me that every day, you know. And
Squashing your self-esteem.
And then when I finally decided to leave him, he took the kids, and then that's when it just went downhill. I mean,
That's when you turned to meth.
Yeah, that's when I turned to meth, and I started using meth a whole lot, and I started selling it too, just to get an attorney, you know, to get a divorce attorney, you know, and thinking I'll just do that and I'll get off of it, you know, I won't do it no more, I won't sell it, I won't use it, and it's not that easy once you start doing it. It was hard, and it was like every day I was drifting away more and more away from my kids. You know, and it's the truth. I let the drug take over me.
Right. At what point did you move back to DeQueen?
About a year after I got into meth, I moved back to DeQueen. I met this guy, and I was just doing drugs with him, you know, just...
He happened to be a drug addict as well.
Yeah. And I mean, I was just being unresponsible. You know, I shouldn't have been like that. You know, and using meth. And that's all I cared about, I think. It's
right.
Stupid.
During that time, how old were your children?
My little boy was 11 and my daughter was 13. It's been about 3 years since all this has happened.
What was your rock bottom?
I think the day I missed court. Realized I wasn't going to get my kids back. And I lied to my daughter and told her, no, I didn't know about court. But
why did you miss court? Were you high?
I was high, and I didn't want to go in front of the judge high.
Right.
But, I mean, I can admit that now, you know.
Right.
I'm ashamed of it, but it's because I was high. And that's why I missed court.
Right. And so that was that the kids were taken away.
Yeah. Now, I used to blame my ex-husband about that, but I kind of thank him a little bit, you know, because, I mean, if he hadn't took...
They shouldn't have been with you during that time.
No. I will say that. I mean, I'm not mad at him no more about that.
Right.
But when I was on the drugs, I was mad at him about it, you know, because I didn't do no wrong, but I was doing all wrong.
Right. When did you... What happened? What were you arrested for?
Intent to deliver less than 2 grams, but
Of meth.
of meth, yeah. So I guess someone did a control buy on me, and that's
So you sold to an undercover,
yes.
and they got a warrant for your arrest.
They had a warrant for my arrest, and I was in Walmart, and Michael Barnes picked me up. but yeah.
And what were you facing?
I was facing 10 years, and then on my first court date, and then the second date, the court date, I had to come back. I missed it because I was high. I got high again.
Oh no, you failed to appear again.
Yeah, I failed to appear, and that's when Michael Barnes arrested me, and that's when I was sitting there in jail, and I was like, I need help, you know, and and I asked for the program, and at first my lawyer told me I wasn't going to get it, you know, so I thought, oh, here we go, I'm going to prison, you know, but I was grateful that Mr. Walcott and Kim let me have the program.
Right. So you go into the 90-day program. Are you wanting help at that time?
Yes, I was.
You was desperately, you realized. So going in, you were very responsive
Yes, I was.
to it.
I was wanting my kids back, and I was ready to do whatever it took
Right.
to get clean again, and because I knew I wasn't the person that I know I can be. You
Right.
know, I mean, I just let the drugs take over me real bad and real fast. I mean,
Where are you at in the program today?
I got a job, and I'm helping with this. I'm helping my good friends with her little girl. I'm staying with her. I'm very involved with CR, and I'm getting my relationship back with my daughter more every day. You know, we're having to build trust, but
Right.
it's getting there.
And she's now 16.
Yes, and my son, he's 14 and a half, and it's a work in progress with him because of his dad. His dad won't let me have a lot to do with him, but we have our ways of talking, you know.
He's still controlling.
Yes, I mean, like he tells me, you take a drug test, you can see him. Well, I take a drug test every time they tell me to. I said, I take drug tests all the time. I'm not scared to take a drug test. Give it to me, you know. But he still won't let me see him.
That's just the controlling nature of that man that he is.
And he doesn't even raise him, you know.
But at least you have the relationship with your children,
Yes,
and it's building.
yes,
And you and your daughter's daddy, y'all get along really well.
yes, we do.
Y'all work to raise her the best way possible, which is extremely important.
Right, it is. And I mean, I'm grateful we can get along. You know, we've always been able to get along no matter what.
Right.
You know,
Because it's all about raising the child
right, it is.
in the healthiest environment possible.
Right. It was like when I got out, I wasn't trying to force a relationship with her. I messaged her every day telling her I love her.
Right.
And I'm here, and when she was ready. It took about 4 months, but we got there. You know, about 2 weeks ago, she called me. So,
And once you complete this program, you can you had lost your nursing license.
right,
But once you complete this program, you can get, hopefully, your nursing license back.
yes, I can.
And your daughter looks up to you because she wants to be a nurse as well.
Yes, she does.
She wants to follow in her mama's footsteps.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Hopefully I can get my nursing license back, and I want to become a substance abuse counselor. I want to be able to help the people like I've been helped, you know, because, I mean, it's a struggle. And I see it like this. Someone that's been through it, you know, can relate to them a lot better, I think, you know, and help them through it.
Right.
And hopefully have a great relationship with my children.
Absolutely. And right now you're staying with a friend that's just a blessing.
She's a blessing, her and her family. Her whole family is like welcomed me into their family. I mean, they're all good people. I mean, I love them all.
Right. To date, how many days do you have in sobriety?
I have 7. Hold up.
You have a little more than 7.
No. I made a mistake, and I had to do a sanction.
Oh, I see.
But, I mean, if I hadn't made that mistake, but, I mean, like Joe and Hattie and Mr. Walcott's taught me, we all make mistakes.
Absolutely.
We have to get back up and dust our knees off and
as
go
long
again.
as you do that,
Right.
it makes you stronger every time.
Right.
Just get right back on there.
And I did. You know, I went in there, I told on myself, you know. I said, I messed up, you know, and I knew I messed up. And so, I mean, at first I beat myself up over that a lot, but I can't no more.
You know, with CR and the church and all that, it's like the healthy community that you surround yourself with.
It is.
The day that you messed up, did you just step out of that community?
Yeah, I did.
And
It take just that, like they say, people, places, and things, and that's true.
that's
You have
exactly
to change
right.
all that, you know, because I stepped back into that place, and that one place did it.
You stepped out of that safety zone, which is the good community.
Yeah. The family that had their arms open to me when I walked out of the jail that day,
Right.
saying that they were here for me. You know, that's my family now.
And that's okay. Now you know that you have to stay within the community, the
You
good
do.
community.
I mean, they're here to help us. I mean,
Right.
they all care about us, and they want the best for us.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think me messing up, I think it just made me stronger. You know, I know what I have to do. You know, and I'm not mad at myself no more about it. You
Yeah.
know,
No.
I felt like a failure, but I'm not a failure. You know,
No.
we all make mistakes. Yeah.
You just have to use that as a strength.
Mhm.
Make it, you be that much stronger.
Right.
Very good. Is there anything else you want to add?
I guess not. I don't.
I'm very proud of you. You've
you.
come a long ways. And from the loss of your mom and everything, it's just you've had a lot of hardships. And you're using those to make you stronger.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Tonya, for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dee. I'm the host of The Shattered Podcast. Please like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell on the notifications so you won't miss an episode. I'm very passionate about helping families. If you are an expert that would like to help or would like to share your testimony, please contact me. Thank you.